So what do you know about Asia?
But what is the relevance of it? Like, why would we be talking about it?
I mean, hey, for any reason.
Just in case it comes out.
Sometimes anything can come up. I want to know the boundary.
Okay.
But clearly, the only thing you know about Asia is crab rangoon and karate.
Well, I mean, those are some of my favorite things.
What's your least favorite thing about Asia? The people?
I would say their view of Americans. I mean, they're right in some aspects, but
like what?
Well, I mean, Americans can be very.
Have you been to Asia?
I've not been to Asia. My brother went to. So, did you know that if you are flying to China, it has to be on a connecting flight? Like, you can't fly to China as your destination. You have to be going there and have like a layover for even like a week or whatever, and then be going somewhere else. He didn't know that. So when he got to China, they literally detained him in the airport in like a fucking like room and wouldn't let him leave. He couldn't eat. They're like, you're in our country now. And was like just talking shit. He's like, my brother's like 6'1", big old kid. And like.
In China.
Yes. They would not allow, because that was his destination. He flew there. And so instead of him having a connecting flight going somewhere else, they would not allow him to leave the airport.
Why do you need a connecting flight?
They don't want you to come and stay. They want you to be going somewhere else. You can stop by. You can look in and
you got to
say
be connecting in China.
Yes. So you can fly there and even stay for a couple of days, but you have to be going somewhere else. Destination cannot be China.
Damn.
Which I didn't know that. He didn't know that. He works for the airport and his ass got stuck in the airport. It was crazy.
Ah, Rose nose.
Unless you sound like old dirty ass motherfucker.
Ro shit hit different.
Ro take a long time, man. I hate these artistic dudes.
He's coming. Yeah, what's Ro?
Come on, Ro.
I know they mad. They can't stop. Number one soundtrack in America. Black on. The number one movie from making records. Making the whole wild VHS.
Where you going by?
I told y'all in the movie. I told y'all I'm gonna show y'all how to clean your dirty money.
This is the I'm Kind of Famous podcast. I'm your host, Lester Rowe. This is episode 104 of the I'm Kind of Famous podcast. KINDA Famous Pod, POD.com, the website, Kind of Famous Pod on Facebook. I think that's it. I'm pretty sure that's it. Rowe is famous. ROWE is famous on Instagram, Twitter. Arrow Films. ArrowFilms.com, my official website to figure out what I got going on. Got some shit going on. We just released episode 4 of Savage Jew with YBM Smooth, Skinny Chip Yachty. Who else? Heavy, SE Trill, and this crazy cat that is just losing his fucking mind. But we shot that at where was that at? Midwest Blends. Savage Jew. We just dropped part 4. Shit is dope. This episode or this part of the conversation, this was more about giving some real information to artists, the struggles, the downfalls, the hardships that come with deciding that you want to jump into this rap shit. So go check that out. Where would you go check that? I got it on YouTube. It's real hard to find on YouTube at the moment because it's in pieces. So I would say go over to Facebook.com/ArrowFilms and you can watch Savage Jew with YBM Smooth, or just Google that bitch because it comes up. So Google that, watch it. The last part 5 will come out this week after I record this. So I don't know what that's going to be about just yet. YBM Smooth, local artist, had a great event with his release party. It was like album release and birthday party. I shot that as well. Went real good. Putting the final touches on it. We'll put that on Arrow Films as well. I'm gonna keep saying as well because I be doing a lot of shit. Track record from the I'm Kind of Famous podcast. We just released that episode with 8-0. I didn't want to put the full shit out there, but he was like, they gotta see it. They gotta see the whole thing. They want the visuals like some Breakfast Club shit, so we need to put it out. So I put out the whole thing. You can watch, if you're on the Facebook page, you can watch the whole Track Record, episode 1 with Ado breaking down old murder. So this ain't a weekly podcast. It's like a special. So whenever I feel like I want to do a breakdown on an album, like we did with Ado and his album Old Murder, we'll do one. So I got 3 more lined up. I don't know when I'm gonna release them. I haven't even recorded them, but that's coming soon. So go look at Track Record or listen to it. If you just rather listen to it, it's there. It's dope. It's real dope. I think I'm gonna leave it at that. We got a guest sitting in, Brittany. You can
Karibo.
Hey, she wanted her last name out there. I don't like to do that to people, but that's what
right.
she want. She wants stalkers. Go look at her. Go look at her. She be setting that thing up out there. By that thing, I mean,
Yeah.
it's out there. It's out there.
I mean, it ain't too out there now.
It ain't too out there, but it's out there. The way she. Anyway, what's up?
How you doing today?
I'm doing well, ish.
Just
Doing
ish.
well-ish. Yeah, well-ish. I'm a little under. I'm trying to avoid getting all the way. These allergies been acting up. But I do have something to smile about.
What's that?
Well, I'm glad you asked. Because just recently I found out some information that, sometimes you find out shit to let you know that you dodged a bullet.
Oh, absolutely.
And, I went through a bad breakup. A real bad breakup.
I can relate.
And so in this breakup, you want to rebound. You want to get back on something.
Right.
And they say the best way to get over somebody is to get in something like that.
Wow. I think it's get under somebody.
Something. It's something like that. So there was someone who was really just aggressively throwing it at me.
Right.
And one time she almost got me.
Okay.
She almost got me. I was having a real frustrating day. And all I could think is, it'd be nice to beat some guts in. To get deep inside something.
Well, hold on. Let me stop you right there. So why were you hesitant in the first place? Like if she's coming at you, she seems interested. What was making you hold back in the first place? Like why did it have to take you being under stress that day to even be considering it?
Well, because she's not all that hot.
Okay.
She's okay. Like, my thing is, if I'm going to jump into something like that, that isn't really my flavor, she got to be like, I got to be able to explain it. In case she want to put me on blast or some shit, be like, but look at her. I mean, you would do the same thing.
Okay.
And she was one of those where, like, she was cute, but she wasn't necessarily my speed.
Okay.
And I was consulting with friends, like, man, what would you do? Here's a picture. What do you think? What would you do? And it was like, hey, man, I mean, she can pass. You just trying to get some relief.
Right.
And I said, you know what? This day, she was hitting me up. It was a real bad day for me. I consulted with somebody, said, fuck it. So I said, hey, you say fuck it, I say fuck it. No pun intended. But, so we going back and forth. And I'm laying on my couch. And I just fall asleep. Just fall asleep.
And she's here?
I mean, not in this room, but
Okay. Okay. I'm trying to get the picture going. Okay.
Oh no. We still going back and forth.
Okay.
And so I end up falling asleep. I wake up like at 3 a.m.
Mid conversation, you fell asleep.
Mid arrangement, yeah. We was setting it up. And I fell asleep, woke up like 3 a.m., checked my phone, where you at text, what are you doing? The good old WYD. And I'm sure she gave up. We went back and forth a few times. This is about a month ago. And yesterday, it was revealed that she's pregnant.
Oh, wow. Wow.
The Lord comes through in his own way.
Yes, sir.
Sometimes he comes at you as sleep.
Yes, yes. It put that pause on it. I actually just seen something recently, and it was like talking about God's delay maybe preventing you some damage down the road. So don't be too upset when things don't go to your speed.
She was trying to put a baby on me. I don't even know if she was trying to, but
maybe she didn't know. I mean, those first couple months, you might not even know. I had a girlfriend who went in to go get what she thought was her appendix about to get removed, and she was in labor. I swear to you, her baby's about to be 1. She had no idea she was pregnant. She lost weight throughout the whole pregnancy. Everything was normal, and she had 2 other kids. So maybe this girl didn't even know she was pregnant.
Which is fine. I'm okay with her not knowing that she wasn't pregnant. But the plus side of that is, for 9 months, she could have assumed it was mine.
Exactly.
Because I'm a real nigga out here in these streets. I'm a good ass man. Good motherfucker, got a lot of shit going on. You see the wall?
Yeah.
She probably was with some old bum ass nigga.
It could have been.
And she would be ready to get... The thing what they need to figure out is how to do a DNA test while she pregnant.
And I think there's ways of doing it, but it's extremely dangerous because...
Ain't got shit to do with me.
Hey, it has to do with whether or not the baby will survive. It can cause a miscarriage in the woman. So at the end of the day, you have to think about how important is it to find that out if it could eventually result in the baby actually dying.
You mean the woman to figure out?
Well, I mean, like they say, it's mama's baby, papa maybe. Like
I can't be. Don't know. See, that's the maybe part.
Right, and I understand that. I would never want to put a man in a position. I would never want to be in a position where I'm like, is this his baby or is this his baby? So women have to be, not unfortunately, it's their responsibility to be extremely cautious about, how many men you're sleeping with, are you using contraceptive, the amount of time between your partners and all that stuff. Now, it's the man's responsibility too. Don't get me wrong. Men need to be just as aware and everything. These days, people just hook up just to hook up, and it's supposed to be this real casual thing. But then when you start talking about STDs and babies, all of a sudden life gets real.
Well, it's mostly babies.
Well,
no, I mean the STD part. Don't nobody really give a fuck like that.
What?
They don't. The
Okay.
more people are afraid of to have the kid than they are to have the STD.
I don't know about that. Because my child, like you might have a baby and it was unexpected, but that child's going to grow and you could grow them up into something wonderful. You mess around and get an STD that you're going to have for the rest of your life, then I'm sorry.
I'm not saying it don't happen. It can happen. I don't think most people go in. Like, the only 2 things most people worry about is condom and pulling out.
Okay. So I've been talking to a lot of people lately about like polyamorous relationships.
You know what?
Right?
We talked about polygamy.
And, my biggest thing has always been pregnancy and STDs. Because if you are messing with more than one person, and my understanding, I have lots of friends that, not lots, I have a few friends and clients even. I'm a mental health counselor and therapist, and I see people of all ages and everything. And so we, my adult clients, we get into these conversations and they tell me about very personal things. And I don't understand it, because it gets to a point where if you are so comfortable with your partner to where you guys are not using condoms, and you have a couple partners that you're comfortable with like that, and then you were to end up pregnant, you wouldn't know whose baby it is.
Yeah, you don't want to be a baby daddy candidate, but still, that's what I mean. Like, that's the only thing we really are worried about. Is like, okay, yeah, you may have. Well, when you say polygamy, because I learned a lot about polygamy.
I have learned a lot lately too.
So what do you mean?
So from what I understand with a lot of these polyamorous relationships is it would be like, let's say me and you, for example, let's say me and you are together in a relationship, right? We're the solid like foundation in the relationship. So we're boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, whatever. But I also maybe have a couple of friends on the side that I sleep with that you're aware of. And you have a couple of girlfriends on the side that you sleep with that I'm aware of. Now, it seems like most of the time the partners are not all engaging together. So it's not like big orgies or threesomes or something like that. It's like you're in a relationship, but you also have these friends with benefit kind of things on the side where it's purely sexual and just like a friendship, basically. It's like a friends with benefit, but your partner knows that. So you'll live with this person. We could live together, be in a full-on relationship, but then on whatever night of the week, I might go hang out with, Mike, and we know we're going to have sex, but it's just that he knows I'm with you, and that there's no room for any other potential outside of just hanging out and having sex.
Now, from way I've gathered, that is just purely an open relationship.
Right.
And not so much polygamy. Now, in the open relationship, yeah, you should still exercise some caution.
Mm-hmm.
But still, I don't think they go in worried about STIs.
Now, STIs, obviously, that's something that you can get rid of. So I understand there's a little bit
STDs
less of
and
it.
STIs.
That there's a less of a threat. But I think for men,
Just
typically.
worry about herpes, AIDS, HIV.
Right. But even with like things like chlamydia, gonorrhea, bacterial vaginitis, and all these different things.
Good grief.
Yes, I'm telling you, those are all things that women typically have to worry about more because men don't have the symptoms of those things. So you could have it and not even know it. And you're over here sticking it to, every girl down the road, and she's going to be the one that has all of the symptoms. So of course women have to think about that more because we have an internal system where you guys have an external system. That's right. It's a lot harder for men.
Unless you're gay. And that's
well,
okay.
hey, that's a whole different thing. But even at that, I don't know if you can get things from anal sex the same way that you would from vaginal.
Well, yeah, it can be a shitty situation with somebody.
A shitty situation.
Episode 87, polygamy is where we talk about that. But I hear that. I get it. But as long as you can get a cream, a shot, a pill,
and get it gone,
a pack, motherfuckers not that worried.
But again, I feel like that's for men. There is such a double standard when it comes to everything sex-wise with men and women. I have three brothers growing up. Just everything that was taught was so opposite. And I was just having this conversation the other night. It's like women are taught to save themselves, be like these pure little flowers and just so delicate and like hold back, where it's like men are told to go out and conquer and devour all these women. And then we can't understand why men and women can't get along and make relationships work.
Who taught them that? I wasn't taught that.
You weren't taught to just go out and just, spread your seed and get all this experience and your worth as a man is how many women you can get, because that seems to be not even like within a home. It seems to be what society teaches men about what makes you a man, right? The more women you can have, the more females that you get, that's what makes you more manly. Whereas a woman is told, keep your legs closed, be selective with who you share yourself with. It's two totally different messages.
But if it's that different, if they were that different, then men would have a hard time spreading their seed around.
So what I've noticed from the time that I was in
women lie. Go ahead.
That women lie, men lie, everybody lies. Okay.
Mostly women.
Well, women might be better or more thought out in their lies. I'm not gonna lie. Women. So there's a book called
Women Lie.
There's probably a book called that too, but I'm thinking of the one that's like, it says
Black men don't cheat.
Men are like it's like men are like waffles and women are like spaghetti. So like men think of like, if you think about a waffle, right? They think about one box at a time, whereas women are like spaghetti and they have all these loose ends all over the place. So it's a lot easier for a woman to like think 8 or 9 steps ahead, because generally we're the ones taking care of most of the things for the kids and the family and the house and all these different things, to where we have to be thinking so many steps ahead. So yeah, I understand that. But that's not where I was going with it at all.
Right, let's see where we going. All I'm saying, at the end of the day, I don't think most sexual interactions are that much built around
the worry
of disease.
Okay, so
as much as it is, I don't want to have because other than the big three, kids are mostly permanent for a lot of situations.
Right.
So, or not even permanent. It's a permanent decision one way or another.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't really want to have to make that decision. So it's like, all right, I'm fucking with her, having sex with her, and it's dope, but I need to make sure I can pull out this thing. Or, let me go get a condom, or whatever the case is.
Right.
That is more thought about because they don't I don't want to have a kid right now. Versus I don't want to catch the clap.
Right. So you started out by talking about the situation that you had been in, right? This rebound type situation. And it just makes me think about a situation I have recently been in. And this is what I've come to find out in a lot of different situations. It seems so backwards to me that people will share pictures and videos and all these intimate conversations with each other about sex and their body and all this stuff without having those real conversations and foundations first about what do we both want from this situation? Are we just looking for somebody to have fun with, or are we looking for something serious? They don't talk about those things, but they're so quick to jump into the bed. And then when one person wants it to get like more serious than the other, then it's like, oh, whoa. Talking about feelings, talking about our expectation, that's too much. But I'll send you a dick pic in a second. Oh my God, I don't know how many times I've met a guy, and every time I start talking to a dude, if he asks me for my Snapchat right away, I already know what he's after. He wants me to send him pics. He wants to see what he can see immediately. It is insane to me every single time. It never fails. So it's crazy to me how backwards society has come with how relationships develop. We are so quick to have sex. We are so quick to share intimate parts of ourselves. But then when we actually want intimacy and want a foundation in a relationship, all of a sudden that's like taboo, and talking about it's crazy.
Because people really don't want to have the conversation. In the end of the day, because on both sides, it's perception driven.
Okay.
So a woman wants to have a certain perception in the situation, in the pre-situation, and the dude wants to have a certain perception in the pre-situation. No one really wants to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
So for a chick to say, I'm solely looking for my future right now. That's like, this is my mission to find my next dude. And the dude is like, fam, I don't know you like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really want to. Nah, I'm trying to do this.
But he still wants to fuck.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. That don't make sense.
But that's what she wants to.
Okay, when you meet somebody, there's obviously, you could be walking through the mall and see somebody and be like, damn, right?
Check this out.
And you have that lust, that attraction where you're like, I want to know what that's about. But someone can become, just like you were talking about with that girl, they might not be the most attractive person, but the more you get to know them, they can become more attractive because they have more to them than just looks. Mm-hmm. You cannot build a relationship off of sex because it won't go anywhere. The sex might be great, but eventually that shit's going to fade out.
All right, but here's my shit. Here's the thing. And I hear you. And there is truth to that. But I don't know how many times a dude goes in there honest. What am I trying to say here? All right, so friend zone. Let's talk about friend zone a little bit. So a dude would be that dude.
Mm-hmm.
He will be what you say, man, we need to build up. We need to do this and really see where we're at. And then he ends up investing that and then ends up being, man, you're a good friend.
Right.
I really like you as a friend. He doesn't target you sexually. He doesn't advance on you sexually. He takes a step at a time approach and ends up your best friend.
It's a tricky thing.
All right. And then there's that. And then there's the thing of women saying, if you just want sex, just say that. All right, then we say that, and then it's like, ugh, it's gross, it's disgusting. Why would you approach me like this? Don't you have manners? Why don't you get to know me first? This whole fucking bullshit. Mm-hmm. But a woman will not let a dude go if he is, a good friend, if he has a good vibe about him. But that guy is essentially, he approached you because he wants to fuck you,
right?
But he also felt like, because we gotta get rid of the stigma that all men want to do is just fuck. We do want to fuck,
right?
But if we start off wanting to fuck you,
mm-hmm.
and you show there's a good intangible quality that's we would love to have in our life,
mm-hmm.
you still get the dude that want to fuck you, but we also become the dude who don't want to lose you too,
right?
What's wrong with that?
There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. And I know earlier I was talking about this whole
Some hater shit.
This whole idea of what men are taught and what our women are taught. And I look at it like when you think about music and the women I grew up on listening to, like SWV, Mary J. Blige, Aaliyah, all these strong, Whitney Houston, Janet Jackson, all these wonderfully like amazing women who started coming out talking about owning their shit. Okay, and think about how music has changed now with the way women are perceived in music. I love Cardi B, but it's a much more raw kind of approach, right? So the whole mentality, like generations right under us. I've worked with at-risk youth all the time, and these girls, their ideas have changed to where they have to harden themselves and be like out for just the money or out for just the sex and say, oh, I can just fuck you and I don't give a fuck about feelings. And that's not really what I don't think anybody's really about. I mean, there's a time in people's lives.
That is also because that's what my belief is. They believe that because that's what women think, men think.
Right. And so they're trying to kind of appeal to that, or maybe protect themselves from being hurt, because women typically are the ones that are like, I want to be in a relationship, I want to be in love. But like you were just saying with this girl who was pregnant, I mean, any woman, if we're the ones that have to carry the baby, we want to be, I know for myself personally, like if I'm having sex with somebody, I want to pick a person to where if I was to get pregnant, I wouldn't go, oh shit, I'm about to have this fool's baby and he ain't got this, he ain't got that. He might be cute, but shit, he got a rap sheet longer than my hair. Like, come on now. I can't be with somebody that I'm fucking with and we get in a situation where I could be pregnant and then me go, oh my God, he's not gonna be able to provide. He's not gonna stick around. So when you think about a woman going into a situation where it's just sex, yeah, you might just be having sex, but I'm gonna just have sex with somebody who has some longevity to them as well.
No, you're not.
Oh, yes, I am.
You're going back with your friend.
But okay, but even at that, I don't have friends that don't have potential. I don't have friends that can't hold weight. You know what I mean? Like if they're my friend, it's because I see them as quality people. So even if it's a friend that I end up fucking, it's somebody that I'm going to say, okay, if I got pregnant by this person, I wouldn't be completely like, oh shit, this dude ain't gonna be able to do nothing for me.
Now, are we saying there is the potential for a person to be a friend that you're fucking that you do not see a relationship with?
Oh, absolutely.
All right.
Yeah, that can happen too.
Fellas, I gave you one.
That sucks, because I do know girls who will hold on to a relationship with a guy because he might, pay for things, or he might take them out or give them just attention. And they know that they have no intent on being with this dude, but they like that attention that they get. And I've confronted girls all the time. I'm like, don't do that to him. Don't use him up for those good qualities, because then what happens if I get mistreated, or if a dude gets mistreated, then that might make them go, oh, well, the next one I'm going to be a little more cold hearted with because I gave my best self to somebody else. They didn't appreciate that shit. So then people go, well, fuck that. I'm not going to do that next time. And it changes what they want to give to a situation.
Now, let's go back. I'm here for the fellas now. Let's go back to friend zone.
Okay.
So when a dude has invested that time into a woman, he really feels like, yo, I can see something with her. I'm riding this out and we gonna see what happened. And then he just stay a friend the whole time. That's like abuse. And then we leave that situation. It's like, man, I ain't doing that shit again. And then you go on a run for like 3-4 women where you just like, I'm just running through the situation. It's not one of these things where they like, I was taught to go run amok through women. It's like,
you were hurt.
We get hurt.
Yeah.
Hurt people hurt people.
I know. And I think that's such an important point to make, because I recently have been in a situation where I've been hurt by somebody that I was really into, and it could make me act. You have the choice at the end of the day. You could say, I gave my best self to this person and they didn't value that. So then now I could either go out and, do what I need to do to kind of work through that. Or I could say, that's who I am. I love hard. I give fully. And I'm an intentional type person. And if they didn't appreciate that, that's their loss. That's their mistake. Now, the next person I come to contact with, I'm not going to take that out on them, or I'm not going to misuse them and change my character based on what the person before did to me.
Which one are you?
I've been both. I went through a very, very nasty divorce, and it caused me to be very angry and very hurt, and it made me make some choices that I'm not, that I would never want to make again. But I also learned from those. You
scratched his car up.
Huh?
You scratched his car up, didn't you?
Shit, no.
What'd you do?
That car was in my name, okay? I ain't gonna fuck up some shit in my name.
What did you fuck up? What did you tear up?
I mean, I might have done some things. That's all I'm saying. Oh, I tore up all kinds of his shit. I broke all kinds of his shit. His favorite, posters and just different things that he could never replace. We were just talking earlier about these collector's items and stuff. He's a huge music fan. I tore up all kinds of shit.
And you can get a people collector, arrowfilms.com/buy now. Go ahead.
I would get one if I was you, y'all. This shit is dope. But it makes you act out of character when you're really, really hurt because you're confused. And I think a lot of times people don't take that time to just sit their ass down and really work through that and just let it be something that they learn from. And so what do? They want to be out at the club. They want to go out and meet new people to try to distract themselves. But sometimes you have to stop and think, this should happen for a reason. And maybe instead of trying to run from the pain, I need to learn from it.
Yeah, but you need some time to get there.
Yeah, and I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with going out and having fun.
That doesn't involve breaking his shit, tearing up his favorite items.
It's nothing that I'm proud
Dastardly.
of. That's
You
nothing
proud.
that
You proud.
I mean, some of it still makes me laugh a little bit.
Yeah,
but,
you done told the story. It was like,
but-
man, this nigga thought he fucked them shoes.
Because you know what? How many times I know as women, and it might not even be just like a women-men thing, but I know there's been times where I have felt like the man cares more about his gaming system than something else. And so if you don't care about the argument that we're having,
Damn.
and you can go get on that shit, I'm about to bust your shit with a fucking baseball bat, and then we'll see if I get your attention. Okay?
All right, but what do...
It's immature. It's immature, and it's
I wish
wrong.
men need to find some shit to fuck up. We need to just go through all the makeup palettes and just mix them bitches up. Fuck them shits up. Fuck up the makeup. Go get the MAC shit. Go get that purse. Mix all them colors up. Make them go buy a whole new set.
You know what I learned through all that stuff, though? It doesn't matter if you tear up their stuff. It doesn't matter if you say hateful, mean things. At the end of the day, if somebody does something very hurtful to you and they either choose to try to correct it by changing their behavior, because you can say sorry all day long. If you don't change nothing, those sorries don't mean shit. So if you don't do anything to actually change your behavior and show that you're sorry, that lets you know that's a situation you just need to move on from. Because being petty, tearing things up, trying to like put dirt on their name and all that stuff, at the end of the day, that's just energy wasted that you're using to try to hurt somebody in a situation that's already over. I should have left that situation with my ex-husband alone a lot sooner than I did and not invest so much more anger and everything into it, because at the end of the day, we're still not together. We still don't have a healthy relationship. So everything that went down between us, it still didn't do anything for me other than to show me when the next serious relationship I'm in, if things start to go south, we can have a much more mature conversation about it and just say this shit ain't working. It's time to move on and just leave it at that. There's no reason to get physical, to get violent, to tear people's stuff up. It does nothing. It does absolutely nothing.
Well, you say that.
I mean, it feels good in the moment. Don't get me wrong.
There was an astronaut. You was wondering how I was going to get to this.
I knew this was going to come up. Okay.
How did you know it was going to come up?
I mean, at some point, you pointed it out earlier, so I figured it would come up at some point.
You know about this?
I do not. Let me know.
It's an astronaut. They got cheated on.
Okay.
So she found out her wife was cheating on her from space.
Oh, shit.
She went through the bank account.
Mm-hmm.
And she found out, like, oh, shit, you bought a new car? What's all these expenses coming from?
Right.
And that's allegedly how she found out. Well, they was going through a dispute, but she found that she had another situation going on by going through the bank account.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what I got there.
Oh, yeah. I've had some situations like that where, you know, when you're living with somebody or you're married, you guys got joint information and the person is doing things behind your back. If they're not smart enough to have separate accounts to spend that shit from, then they deserve to get caught, because that is some reckless.
But that's hard to do,
shit.
to have a separate account, because if I know your income, we're married, we supposed to know each other's shit. And I'm like, fam, I know you get paid $1,000. Why I only see 500 in here?
Mm-hmm.
You can't
It's hard to hide, but that's the whole point of it. Is I think so many times people ruin their own situations because you were talking about earlier, like, okay, guys they do like to fuck, but well, you know what? Women like to fuck too.
Oh,
and people get I don't want to say bored, but unfortunately that is kind of what it is, because when you get in such a routine with somebody for a long time, you just get kind of like, it's like just so mundane. It's just like, you know, this again. Even when it comes to sex, it's and then when you add kids into it, shit, it is so hard to have an enjoyable sex life sometimes when you ain't trying to wake up the baby in the middle of the afternoon or at night or whatever. So,
oh God,
people start to just kind of live in their own little world, and you become like roommates. And instead of going to your partner and saying, hey, this is how I feel, this is what's going on with me, they start secretly seeking out all this other shit. And like we had mentioned, like social media, it's such an easy way to do that. When you're on Snapchat, when you're on Instagram, when you're on Facebook, it's so easy just to start liking a bunch of people's stuff and then start having these little separate secret little conversations. Now, if you went to your partner and said, let's try this, I think a lot of men are afraid to do that because they think the woman's going to get insecure or upset and go
Are you talking about like a threesome?
A threesome
Hell
or
yeah.
trying out new partners, or just like ways that even you and your partner can be more sexually like, just investigate your guys' own sexuality, and they start to think like it's a threat. They don't want to do it. So what do? Instead, they go behind their partner's back, and then the shit always comes out and it blows up and they ruin something that could have been good.
How long were you married?
I was married for almost 10 years. I was with him for almost 13. I was with him since I was like a kid. Like,
did y'all have threesomes?
We never had a threesome.
Did he ask you for one?
We talked about it. It was more
Who
me.
brought it up?
Me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Brittany, give me your social media.
My social media.
They might be looking for something. Get something popping.
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram at Brittany Karibo Fit Mama.
If you want to get the threesome popping.
Oh no, not for them. I'm single now, so shit.
Don't.
But
shit, you can have five some at this point. The sky's the limit now when you're single.
That's true, but I'm not. Yeah,
Oh,
that ain't the vibe right now.
Okay, hold on. What made you? You brought up the threesome,
Right?
What made you introduce the idea of let's bring some? Hold on. And when you say threesome, 2 men or 2 women?
2 women.
Okay. When you got to be clear.
Yeah, it's too aggressive. 2 men. That's too much. That's too much coming at you. Now, some chicks might be into that. That's a little much.
All right. So, what made you approach this conversation?
I think you have to be mature about it and understand that.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a couple of different things. You could have a completely satisfying sexual relationship with just you and your partner, but that's going to take work. It's going to take effort. It's going to take trying new things, being, adventurous and everything. And you could do that all with just you and your man, or you and your woman. And you don't have to involve anybody else. Some people don't want that outside shit, because once you add somebody else in from the outside, there's all these other factors that come in. You can start messing around with somebody else, and all of a sudden, dang, now I'm thinking about that person more than I'm thinking about my partner. It opens a lot of doors. So you
Are
really
you saying
have to
the
be.
dick was trash?
Hell no. With my
okay.
ex-husband? No,
Okay.
that was not the case.
I'm
I wouldn't have been
trying to
asked his
figure
ass for so long. That was definitely not the case. It was definitely more of a mental, like,
That's how you break the
communication.
PlayStation.
Yeah. No, that was never the issue with him.
Okay.
I hope he never hears this, because I'm not trying to give his ass props for nothing. But
What's his name? Let him get,
I ain't
let him
like
get a
giving out
shout
his
out.
name. I mean, shit. There's only so many Karibos in this city, so it's not gonna be too hard to find. But anyways, I'm just saying. So I think that it's a very mature conversation. You have to be very secure in your relationship and understand that.
I'm listening.
So when it comes to like a threesome situation, if you have a chick who's bisexual and she's into girls, then it would make sense to kind of add that in at some point. But I think there has to also be boundaries and limits with that. Like, I have a guy who approached me, right? He's married, and this is the story that he told me. He told me that him and his wife are married, that they're married, and they have an open relationship, but they don't talk, like, they don't necessarily share all the details with it, right? So like, he's sitting there showing me pictures of him and his wife having sex together, and I'm like, okay, so is this the type of
Who
situation?
took the picture?
Him.
All right.
And so he's like, I said, is this the kind of thing where you're wanting like me, her, and you to do something, or what? And he ended up, I could just tell, I feel like he's lying about it, because he never tried to introduce his wife to the situation, and he was just trying to get me and him alone by each other. And so I'm like, if your wife is open to this, why would you not include her in all this? And I think guys get super eager and overexcited about it. And so like, if your girl came to you and said, hey, I'm thinking about having a threesome, and you'd be like, bet, there's a chick I've been wanting to hit, da 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 da. She's gonna go, whoa, hold up. You got to be able to be cool enough to say, hey, that's something. If you're into that, we could talk about it, whatever. Why don't you pick the chick? That way you don't feel like I am out here just been waiting to hit somebody. And you know what I mean? Because guys will get so excited about it and be like, yeah, there's this girl at work I've been wanting to get with. And they mess it up for themselves.
Now, your husband, ex-husband, if y'all was to have a threesome,
yeah,
who gonna pick the chick?
I would definitely have to pick chick.
All right, so you pick the chick.
I mean, we could do it joint, like we could do it together, but it couldn't be somebody that's like from his past or somebody he's been wanting to. We would have to like go out and find somebody new together. It couldn't be like any ties between him and her from before.
So, all right, bet. So he got, y'all got a threesome rocking. You picked the girl. Can he fuck the chick?
I mean, I would expect him to. Now, this is why I want to be that cool, right? I want to be that cool to be able to end up in those kind of situations just to see what it's like. But at the end of the day, I really don't know if I could get down with that because, like, when it comes to, like, oral sex, I don't know if I'd be okay with him putting his mouth on another woman, especially the fact that we have kids together.
You picked her.
I know I picked her, but shit, like you said, women lie, men lie, everybody lies, right? So she could come in and be bringing something into our circle, and then what? He's gonna get up the next day and share, some cereal with my son or something. I'll be ready to kill somebody. I couldn't do it.
The man eats your ass and then kiss your daughter on the forehead to go to school.
But that's all intertwined. Me and him made that daughter together. You know what I mean? That's all one. That's all one love, one blood, one family line. You bring an outsider into that stuff. I don't know what they've been doing.
But no, I get it.
That's why maybe I can't get to that point to even let it go down.
But all it is because it's in your head. Because he could be cheating on you and doing the same shit.
Yeah.
So you might as well not get caught up into that because at the end of the day, you picked her, so this your fault. But you should have had her run out to the clinic real quick. But short of that, I mean, he could be doing it behind your back or right in front of you.
Right.
So it doesn't matter. Germs are germs. Get your fucking tetracycline shot. And
so you just brought up something else. So now, I mean, I was with him since I was 16. So I was with him from 16 to age 30. So I've only been single for the last almost 2 years. And
why?
It's been really weird adjusting to the whole dating game and all that stuff. Now, how sexy would it be if you start talking to a chick and y'all are really vibing, everything's going good, but before y'all ever have sex, she says, "Hey, why don't we both go get tested first and make sure that we're both clean?" What would you say to something like that? That's what I'm saying.
That's why I say we don't worry about the diseases because we don't. What you're proposing is what we don't do. We know we probably should. We know when we meet a chick, let's say you decide to get serious with anybody, no one is going, it's almost equal to getting married and asking for a prenuptial. Like, you're not going to do it. It's hard to even approach to be like, hey,
why
man.
Is it though? I mean, that's something. How are you thinking about either having a baby, even having sex? I don't understand how sex is something that's become so casual that you can just go out and do it and you can show your entire body to somebody, be so intimate, put all these different parts in your mouth and everything, but you can't have a conversation?
Yeah.
How does that work? I don't understand that.
It's been working for a long time.
I don't get it.
Because at the end of the day, this is what we believe. We believe if you, as a woman, had a disease,
right?
We just believe that you gonna let us know.
So you think that if I had something that I would tell you before we had sex and go, "Oh, well, I have this," and I mean, how do you think shit gets spread the way that it does?
I know. That's what I mean, though. That's what I'm saying.
There is literally
like
a group of women that I know of in Wichita. These women are beautiful women, and I don't know them personally. I'm friends with one of their friends, and she was telling me about how these women are HIV positive, and they call it prowling, right? They'll go out and purposely find men to have unprotected sex with to infect them because they were infected by a man unknowingly and got this disease, and so they're like harboring this hate and all this stuff. So if I know a girl who, she was messing with this dude. They had it was like a one night stand, friend with benefit kind of thing. That's what it developed into. And she ends up getting pregnant by this guy. Once she found out she was pregnant, he goes, "Oh, well, you might want to go get tested because I'm HIV positive." They had been fucking around for almost a year by the time she got pregnant. Her and the baby, neither one of them ended up contracting the disease, which is unbelievable. But some people think, okay, if I have herpes, nobody's going to want to be with me. If I have HIV, no one's going to be with me. So now if I give it to you too, well, now you're going to want to stay with me because we both have it. I mean, people think from some very twisted points of view. So it's a personal responsibility to make sure that you're protecting yourself and that you're making sure other people are doing everything to be clean, because people are full of shit. They'll tell you anything they want to know if they want to hit it, So
now, okay, I hear you. But if you met a dude and it gets intense,
right?
Y'all possibly about to start fucking, and he goes, "Hold on, baby girl. I'm gonna need you to go bring me some paperwork, and then I'll let you get all this sweet meat."
Oh my God.
Are you gonna be offended by that?
Hell no. I would think that's a conversation that needs to happen.
He not asking you to have a conversation. He's telling you to go take a test. This ain't even a talk at this point. I just need some facts before I drop this off in you.
I mean, I would appreciate that so much more. That would make me feel more comfortable. That if he's that aware of his body, what's going on with him, and we're both proving to each other that we don't have anything, that would make me feel more comfortable.
He never said he was going to get shit.
Oh, no. It's a two-way street, honey. If I'm getting it done, you're getting it done.
Why? Why wouldn't you just want to just be like, okay, well.
Because
okay.
Why should one person, like, I could go and get the test and I'm clean, but if you're sitting there with dirty dick, what am I supposed to do with that? Especially
because
when the men.
You would like to assume that if I'm telling you,
I don't assume shit. I don't assume shit. You know what I mean? That was actually something I told myself when I could tell like our marriage was probably going to end. I was like, you know what? If I find myself in a situation where I'm with someone new, that'll be a conversation we have straight out of the gate. Like, let's both go together, first date type of shit or whatever. I don't even care. Let's go to the clinic. I do not care. Let's both get tested and prove this shit because I have no time. I've been with somebody for, most of my adult life. What do I look like going out and the first person I mess with, I catch something that I can't get rid of?
It's rare.
It's rare that what?
That you're one of very few people that I think about that. I mean, not that they don't think about it. I think a lot of people think about it, but we really go that, nah, this shit ain't. I mean, we take it for granted, basically.
I guess maybe I just, I think of it as in relation to my kids, right? If I end up having something, that is going to limit how I love on my children. If I kiss on them, if I share food with them, if I share a drink with them or something, why would I put my children at risk for my bad behavior that I'm out doing? And then I come home and could potentially do something to cause them harm and they're completely innocent. So maybe it's because I have that extra responsibility to make sure that I'm not doing something that could potentially harm them, that I want to make sure I'm with people who are clean. So that way I don't ever put my kids at risk. But not even just my kids. I mean, myself too. That's not something I want to live with. I don't want to have to walk around with something for the rest of my life when I could have just had a simple conversation. And it is a simple conversation. Like I said, I work with at-risk youth all the time. And I tell them, if you're not old enough to talk about sex, that's how you're not old enough to be having sex. If you're with a partner, and it doesn't even have to be about the around STDs and stuff. If you're sleeping with somebody and let's say when y'all are having sex, they do this one thing and you really don't like it, but they keep doing it and you don't open your mouth to say, hey, when you do that, it hurts, or I don't like it. It makes me feel uncomfortable. It makes me feel disrespected. And you just keep allowing them to do that because you can tell that they're into it. That is a part of you that's not being secure enough with your sexual identity to be able to stand up for yourself and say, hey, I don't really feel comfortable with that. And you have to be able to share that kind of stuff with your partner. Maybe there's something they're not doing where you're like, man, I would really like it if you did this instead. And I've been with dudes who tell me, I want you to tell me specifically what you like, what you don't like. They don't mind the direction.
That's corny.
What?
That's corny.
How is that corny?
You gotta learn
if their
through
aim
discovery.
is, I agree.
If you go in there and you tell me the blueprint, then it's like it take my fun away.
Honestly, it's better when you don't have to say anything and they just can they just catch your energy and everything that they don't even have to ask. They just know exactly what to do.
I said it was corny.
Yeah. I
mean, I'm not sitting up. Tell me what you like. Nah, you're going to find out what you like. We're going to find some new shit. But speaking of sexual identity.
It's a little early for it. We might as well bring it out there.
Malik Yoba.
Oh, my.
I'm Googling. Malik Yoba. If you've watched the hit Fox show. Oh, what's a UPN? I don't know. People of a certain age know this show.
UPN.
New York Undercover. Actor, the black dude.
I think he might have really been undercover though.
He all right, you gonna blow the lead? That's what we're gonna do?
I'm just saying.
I mean, talk about what people like. Hey, it's not funny. I got a good LGBT community fan base. Shout out to Aaron Neely. And anybody that is gay and into things. I don't even know how I'm gonna even bring this up, but apparently Malik Yoba likes a certain kind of man-woman, a woman-man, or trans, or I don't know what to call it.
Well, we've already talked about being bisexual, and I knew we were gonna maybe talk about this, and so I started thinking about. I'm like, it might be on some level. It's kind of like you get 2 in 1, right? If you're bisexual and you might want to be with a man and a woman, but you are with somebody who has breasts and a penis, you get it all in one. So. I mean,
I'm gonna let you explain it. What do you know?
I mean, from what I understand,
Because I got jokes.
That's what
so.
he likes, right? Is the whole chicks with dicks kind of thing. So,
Is that gay?
is that gay? I mean, if you are enjoying pleasuring someone and they have a penis, I think on some level you're either gay or bisexual.
Gay or
I
bisexual?
don't think that most straight men would want to have a dick involved in any sexual activity. So that would lead me to believe that you're either gay or bisexual. Now, the fact that he likes them to have boobs as well, that's where I'm like, okay, well, maybe he's bi. He likes the titties, but he also wants the other parts too.
Now, some men like threesomes or trains.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that is another dick involved in the situation.
Right.
Or like where I saw a porno once. Well, I had to look at it because for research.
Of course.
And I ain't gonna.
What?
It was a woman,
Mm-hmm.
black dude in the butt,
Okay.
2 black dudes in the pussy.
Hold on.
I said what I said
So she had 3 in her at one time.
at one time.
That's extremely over the top. That is too much.
Now, is that gay?
I mean, I think you have to think about
It being
what
gay.
what the men are taking from that. Like if they're enjoying having their nuts rub against each other and like staring in the eyes of another man while they're having sex, then yeah, that might be.
Well,
that.
first of all, they're at work, so let's not. They're at work. They're doing their job. All right,
I don't know. I think most people in the porn industry have to be very open sexually because they know that there's people out there with fetishes, and so they have to be willing to do things that maybe they don't necessarily do in their personal life, but they know they have to do it for work because there's a certain fan base or clientele that want to see those kinds of things.
So I don't even watch Empire, but he said 51-year-old Malik Yoba of New York Undercover Empire fame posted a video. What do he say here? Oh no, this is why this came about. Okay, because this dude, the 20-year-old Maurice something or other, was a rapper who got backlash for showing his transgender girlfriend. I think he killed himself.
Oh my gosh.
But what did Yoba professes of his attraction to transgender women comes at a time when discussions around black men, masculinity, sexuality, and shame have garnered more attention following the guy's death. I hate to do that, but I don't know your name. I'm not finna do that much work behind this. But yeah, he likes the one. I don't get it. This is the thing. Did you watch Chappelle's special?
The new one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing about I hate to even feel like I'm following his joke by talking about transgender, but the thing is we don't know enough about it. The truth of the matter, we don't know enough about the LGBT alphabet community. After you get past lesbian, gay, bisexual, and you get the transgender and everything past that, it's like I don't know. Because you don't really know how to frame it. Like, all right, so these rappers who get caught up with these trans women, if she looks like a good woman, I can't really blame him for falling for that. She's supposed to look like a woman.
Right. And I've seen some very beautiful transgender men that become women and you can't tell, and even vice versa, some women that become men and you're like, damn, like they look good.
I've never done that, but now if said person finds out this woman used to be a man and he continues to fuck with him, is he then gay?
I mean, it's such a, I don't know, it shouldn't be that hard of a concept to grasp, because I think at the end of the day, it comes down to like, okay, like if you think about Bruce Jenner, right? As far as I know, he's a man that became a woman, but then like still wanted to sleep with women. Is that right? Like,
I don't know.
Sometimes when it's like there's a difference between how you identify and then who you're sexually attracted to. So if you feel like internally that you're supposed to be the opposite gender, but you're still attracted. Like if you're a man wanting to become a woman because you feel like you're supposed to be a woman, but then you're still attracted to women, it does get confusing. So I understand why people would rather not talk about it, because it's so much to grasp and it's different for every individual case. It's very hard to kind of put a blanket or umbrella over it because every individual person is different. I think at the end of the day, if you are somebody who has transcended from one gender to the other, I do think it's important to let your partners know so they can make that choice themselves. I actually have had someone close to me in my life growing up that was murdered because he was a man that looked like a woman, and when the guy found out that he was born a man, that the guy basically just beat him to death. So I have seen that happen, and it's terrible. But I think it's important that just like we're talking about the conversation about STDs, it's important to let the other person know so they can make the choice themselves if they want to continue that relationship. And then at that point, if they want to continue it, they'll have to figure out, maybe they never knew that was something that they liked, and they have to kind of work through that with that partner or at that point in life.
Is there a difference from a guy dating a transgender woman versus a woman dating a transgender man?
I don't think there's a difference. I mean, I don't think there's a difference at all. I think at the end of the day, most people just want love and intimacy and some kind of companionship with somebody. Whatever shape or box that comes in, it shouldn't matter so much. And I think people get really hung up on all the labels and all this stuff. I would much rather someone born one sex, dress as the opposite sex, and feel happy about themselves than kill themselves behind the pain, shame, and guilt that they have for feeling the way that they do.
Now, I had this conversation last night, actually, and I personally believe the ones who end up killing themselves probably would have done it regardless.
You think so?
I think there is a as a blanket, as a catch-all, I will say there is a mental health situation that just goes with that. So yeah. I don't want to have to necessarily drag that in. We'll just put that in as a default. I think that when a person like that ends up killing themselves, in this case, this kid did this over basically coming out and the public not fucking with it.
Right.
So that's like 1,000 million people. But
that's
it could
a lot
have been
of pressure.
But it could have been his mom. It could have just been one person, and that would have been enough to strain him. So I think a lot of times when that happens, because I think there's going to be more cases of people get ridiculed and don't do it than there are the ones that do. And I think the ones that do have a lot more going on mentally than the ones that don't. That's why they have, I hate to say that's why they have trouble with it, but that's where it leads to the next extreme, because today it could have been because they came out with a transgender girlfriend or transgender or whatever. Or it could be not being able to handle losing a video game and getting bullied over the thing, or harassed over a game, or one day going to the store and having issues. Like, I think those people that end up committing against themselves, or because it could go three ways. You get harassed and then you attack others. So you attack the people that harass you. Okay. So now you're a murderer, or you do that. Or you get beat up by these people and now you're assaulted and you have that trauma. Or you end up killing yourself. It's only three ways that essentially that this can go, that this can transpire.
Well, I don't know. Like I said, me working in the mental health field, my biggest thing that I work on with people is positive self-talk and self-esteem. I think so many other disorders come out of those things because when you don't have a strong sense of self, then it's very easy to let other people tell you who you are, push you around, kind of mold you or mess with your happiness, even to where you could be pushed to do one of those other things that you're talking about. So I think there's more options than just those three.
No. I mean, in terms of the negative fallout is always going to be.
Yeah, I see that. You see that
three different
constantly.
traumas, basically.
You see it constantly, yeah, with people going out and these mass shootings and then killing themselves, or just starting, by killing themselves or whatever. But I think ultimately, why are why are people as a society putting so like why make the comments with social media being as big as it is? Why take the time to say something negative and hate on somebody for them trying to live happily, openly, and be like owning their truth? There's so many other things you could put your energy into instead of telling this person that they're living wrong.
Because people are assholes.
They sure are.
So that's what I mean is like, it's you know, we can't blame the people, we can't blame society, but that has been society regardless if you are gay, if you're
ignorant,
black, if you're white, if you're anything, you are, no matter what your angle is, you're always in the position to be attacked.
You know, it always pissed me off that when you talk about minority groups, that someone's race, someone's gender, and someone's socioeconomic class can make them a minority or not. Like, how is it that what you're born into, whether it's your sexual identity or your color, can have the same weight as like they say, like women are a minority group. Obviously, minorities themselves are a minority group. Like, it's just crazy to me that those can all be, and then being gay, you know, it's like, that's another minority group. It's just crazy that all of those can be labeled as these different.
Well, we like labels. We like being able to find a way to cater to a niche. So I often have said that the only and most current art group or art, I forget, era is marketing. So when I'm able to say women or black or trans or people who like trans, if I can box you in, then I can just start to label you as this. And I mean, unfortunately, that's just how we like doing things.
Well, and it's I understand that it's like a
I like to go women be tripping. Clearly it's not all women, but it's easier for me to say women be tripping versus, you know, women from a broken home with a bad dad and a mom that kind of like them, that went to an urban school. Them bitches be tripping.
Or women who have had repeated men lie to them and cheat on them and disrespect them, that when they see that bullshit start to come up in the next one. And that's what's so funny too. I just seen a meme about the other day. It's like, it's so funny, right? Women are crazy. That's like such an easy thing to go to. They're crazy. They are crazy. But at the same time, I feel like men kind of are immature in a lot of their views and approaches with things, and it keeps women and men at odds to where it's very hard for them to get on the same page. Now, of course, you can't say all men, you can't say all women, but just like what I was talking about before, when men approach a situation and they expect women to not be emotionally involved, it is so unrealistic. It is so unrealistic because it all goes back to these same things that we've already talked about.
It only come down to one thing, dick being good.
Yeah, you can get dickmatized. Don't get me wrong. You can. It can happen.
That's right.
And it's
that's
a thing. It's a real life thing.
That is the only thing.
That's not the only thing, because at the end of the day,
a dude with trash dick is not throwing you off. Ain't nobody went crazy behind no trash dick. As soon as the dude with trash dick start acting up, you're like, man, you can go home to your mama with that behavior. And be gone. If the dick is decent to great, man, you can get away with everything.
See, that's what you think. That's what you think. But why use that as a reason to disrespect or be dishonest to a woman? Just because you know you got it like that.
Let me flip that. Why let that allow you to be disrespected?
As the man?
As the woman.
So you're saying just because you know that a guy has good dick, you shouldn't allow him to disrespect you?
Yes.
Because maybe that shit ain't as easy to find as
okay.
as you would like it to be.
Okay.
That's not even it for me, because you know what? Listen.
It's the dick.
It ain't always just that. It comes with so much more of a
Jody put the dick down. She cleaned up the whole house and made something to eat.
That's because if somebody's doing you right, you want to do right for them. If you find somebody good and you can connect with them on several levels to where you even get to the point, like you ain't going to know how the shit is until you connect with them on some kind of level to even find yourself in an intimate situation with them.
I would like a woman who's had trash dick and stuck it out to email me at kindofamouspod@gmail.com.
Please, we need answers.
It won't be none. It's going to be empty. I'm not even looking for, I won't even check for that shit, because that is not happening. It's the good dick. It's only really one thing that makes this happen.
You know what's so funny too that I've realized is men can be just kind of attractive. And if they have that confidence and they can like...
They call it good dick energy. Go ahead.
Oh my God. I'm telling you, it's crazy to me. It's like, it almost makes a man more attractive, you know, if they're confident with himself. And but again, that goes back to that self-esteem, and you know that you have something to offer. And
dick ain't really something to offer.
let's not act like the dick pays bills, though. Okay, like you could be cute. You could be cute and have it going on or whatever, but shit, I need a little bit more than just what happens in the bedroom. If you can't be stable, consistent, if you're not respectful, if you're not helping me grow, all these other things, I have nothing to do with you. Like,
all right, and so you
can't hold me. If that was the case, I'd still be with my ex-husband.
It was more trauma there. We're not gonna act like it was. So because you stuck that out, you did stuck it.
Oh, I did.
Until the dick got trashed, right?
Shit.
Did eventually it got infrequent?
Yeah, that was I disconnected, and
because you had to make a stance. Because otherwise, you would still be there.
Yeah, probably so.
Exactly. Now speaking of the society, men. There is a segment of men.
Oh Lord.
I don't know how I made this work. It's called Men Going Their Own Way. MGTOW. We talked about this a little bit before. Or incels. Involuntarily celibate. Meaning, little dick
they just
energy.
Can't get it.
Little dick energy. So that's the other side of that. Why do you think? Why do you think these people exist?
You know, I think...
Because these are probably a bunch of friend zone men. Probably
so. But I think that comes with that low confidence. You can have a little dick and still know what you're doing with it. And that is not... Listen to me. When I say that is a real thing, it is a real thing. But you might have to work a little harder in some other areas. Yeah. You might have to make a little more money. You might have to do a little more. You might have to have your oral game down or whatever. There has to be something else extra that you might have to bring to the table. But I think these guys had got shot down so many times that they didn't know how to find that confidence to be able to be maybe a heavyset dude that still goes out there and pulls chicks, or somebody with a little dick that can go out and do what needs to be done and get a girl. I'm just saying, I think women need to be conscious of the fact that if a man approaches you, you don't have to be a straight up bitch and be rude and be hateful to dismiss him. I am out all the time. When I don't go out all the time, but when I do go out and there's somebody who I'm not attracted to and they try to talk to me, I have developed a very skillfully, like, polite way of just smiling and waving and saying, "Oh, thank you," and just keep walking as if you can't even stop to have the conversation. I don't have to be like, "Ugh, get out of my face. Why are you even talking to me?" Da, 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 da. You don't have to be like that. If a man can step out of his comfort zone to try to approach you and just be nice, you could very easily let him down. You don't have to tear down his whole entire self-esteem. And I think that's where a lot of these guys come from, is just feeling like so many women have just so disrespectfully shut them down that they have no chance and they give up on the idea of it. But let me just say this. Go out and walk around any grocery store. Just sit and look at people at Walmart. Sit and watch at the mall, or just out walking around. You will see some odd couples, which lets me know there is someone out there for everyone. So no one should ever get so discouraged.
Human trafficking.
Oh my God, why are you saying that?
Cause man, have you ever been in public and saw that? Not what you saying. Do you think we're gonna come back around to what we talking about?
Okay.
There is times. Have there ever been a time when you looked at a situation that looks too odd?
Yeah.
There had to be something else going on.
Absolutely.
And I personally believe human trafficking. I'm not even talking prostitution. I'm talking, we'll just call it kidnapping.
Yes.
It's so prevalent.
Oh my God, it's horrible.
In our face. And we don't know what it looks like because no one is teaching us. We don't know what it looks like.
You know, WASAC, and there's some other, which is the Wichita Area Sexual Assault Center, and there are some other services locally that are very, very active. There was actually a run today that a friend of mine was helping out with, that just to bring awareness to human trafficking. And I've dealt with several victims. Like I said, working with at-risk youth, I know personally women who have been victimized by this whole situation. And it's horrible, and it's disgusting, and it's something that people need to talk about more. Just like all of these conversations, people get so weirded out talking about sex and talking about what attracts them and all these different things that are going on, molestation, incest, all these things. It's like, if we don't talk about it, it's going to continue to happen. The more you talk about it, the more people are aware, they know what to look for, and they have resources that can help them.
But I don't know what to look like. I did, and I've talked about it plenty of times on here. I was working on a documentary, and I planned, past tense, to work on a documentary around human trafficking. Then I met someone that was involved.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, there's no fucking way.
Why?
Because, and I'll show you the clip, but there is a, so it was a girl I was going to do a deal on. And so she was telling me of her situation, basically. And I remember we was at a youth group, and we was interviewing her for the youth group, and then she was the only one that wanted to talk about some other stuff. So we were just asking, how did you get there, this whole thing? And fast forward, at some point, she shows us this marking on her arm, on her leg. And the marking, she explained what it was, and it was her number. Basically, her number within that trafficking ring.
Mm-hmm.
And something happened with some money. And the situation was, her and her friend basically was in this situation. They asked her, do you want to live? She said yes. And they killed the girl, shot her in the face, right in front of her.
Oh, wow.
And from that point on, she was free from that situation. And to me, the way that I do storytelling, for me to get that deep into something where we're getting so far in there where I'm talking to people like that,
Mm-hmm.
they have no problem fucking up me, for sure. If they will fucking if they will shoot a person in the face just for answering the question,
Right.
being the first to answer the question, basically, we will fuck about me.
So you're saying if you were someone who has helped bring an awareness to that, you would think that people might try to come after you?
For sure. I think there's a difference between what programs do, where programs are being almost a refuge for people in trying to transition or whatever, who escaped and got out,
Right.
from someone who's telling a story about how these things happen.
Mm-hmm.
Because the way that I bring attention to something, and the way that I do things in general, but the way I would bring attention to it was would not be surface. It wouldn't be, here's a document of shit that you probably won't read. Here is testimonial of people who, yeah, I get it, it's bad. My thing is, where is it happening? What neighborhoods do it happen to?
Everywhere.
What just going into the deeper layers so that people understand.
Mm-hmm.
And if you get too close to the nucleus or that core level, that's where shit gets dangerous.
It does, but if you think about the amount of people who are forced into that, and the young ages of children that that get brought into all of that, to me it becomes worth it, because there's more people out here that would look at a situation like that and say, that's fucked up, I do not want this going on, to work together to bring that kind of awareness, than people out there going, no, we want to keep this under wraps so we can continue to let this happen.
I don't believe it. I believe there is people who want this to stop, but I'll go this one step, and this is always a part where I get the chills. Remember Jared from Subway?
Yes.
Okay, Jared from Subway, and he went down for child pedophilia.
Right.
Okay, so he went down for child pedophile for having hard drives of child porn.
Right.
On top of some other things that he got busted on.
Mm-hmm.
That's all we heard. We never heard where he got it from, because where he gets it from is far more important than Jared from Subway.
I agree with that 100%.
So,
they always need a face. They always need somebody to pin it on.
But so if we're not gonna go, and this is almost every single time, any child sex thing always stops at the person they arrest, versus saying, where did he get him from?
Mm-hmm.
And when you figure out where he get it from, where did they get it from?
Right.
Then who shot it?
Mm-hmm.
And then you keep going backwards. If we won't do that to that level, then there is, to me, something very difficult about doing it, one, and something that we just don't want to get too far into because of where it could lead to.
Well, I mean, in those situations, a lot of times when it's that big, there are a lot of rich people involved. There's a lot of money that comes into it. And for whatever reason, people can get paid off. And that's disgusting that someone would value money over the child's protection, or even just, an adult's protection if they're being exploited like that. So
and that's
money
why
does play a part in it. You're right.
And that's why I feel it is probably far more out in the open in front of us.
Oh, absolutely. And it's been something that's been going on forever.
Not that it's going on. I'm saying
it's been happening forever.
The question of go to Walmart, look at these weird couples.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they're not couples.
Well, you know what? Over the last couple years, there's been this thing where people are using other kids. So like they were like targeting Target stores, and because Target is known to be very pro woman and pro gay in their stores, and so there's a lot of kids usually in there with these couples, and or single women or single parents, whatever. Anyways, there's always a lot of kids in there, and so what these people were doing is they were taking their children. Well, they weren't their children. They were taking kids to Target and trying to use the children to lure kids away from their parents. So it'd be like me, right? Like I said, I have 3 sons, right? So I'm walking through the store with my boys. Now, my youngest is going to be in the cart. My 2 older ones are probably going to be outside of the cart. And I'm walking through the store. You know how kids are. They like to look around at things. Oh, they want to go to this aisle, go to that aisle. Well, if another kid comes up to them and approaches them, they're not thinking, is this child a threat? So then this kid goes, oh, come over here and look at this toy, and lures them further and further away from their parent. And once they get further enough away, then the adult who is with those children snatches that child up. They run out, and there would be another a person in a van outside waiting, and they'd snatch the kids, run outside, and try to kidnap the kids. And this was happening a lot. And then a woman, the last time I heard about it, it wasn't last summer, I think, but maybe the summer before, so like 2 years ago. Or could have been last summer. There was a woman who had heard about this story, so she was already a little more vigilant. And then she noticed that this girl that was maybe about 8 or 9 kept coming up to her child, trying to get her to go away from the cart. Well, the mom thought it was kind of weird because she already knew this had been going on, and so she would say something to the little girl, and the little girl would act like annoyed that the mom was saying something to her, and she would walk off for a minute and then come back and start trying to talk to the child again. Well, the mom noticed that there was a older man standing by the entrance of the Target. And so she said something to the manager about it. And when he went up to approach the man, the kids and the man ran off and jumped outside in a van who had another man in the car. So, you watch these videos, you can go on YouTube or whatever, and you're constantly seeing clips of kids just getting snatched and pulled all over the place. And if it's another child or a woman, because that's what I dealt with a lot. When I worked at the residential facility, there were teenage girls who had already been victims of sexual abuse, rape, being pimped out, whatever. So when they got tired of being used, what they would do is they would talk other girls into, let's go on the run, and they would turn these girls out. So they didn't have to be the ones sleeping with the men. They turn these younger girls out. And that would be literally their plan. They make a plan. They want to run from the facility. And I would always end up hearing about it. And I'd confront them and say, oh, I heard you're going to run. Well, how are y'all going to make money? What are you going to do for money? Because you're going to need money while you're out there. And they would literally have a plan to sell their bodies to get money so they could go get drugs, just have a place to stay for the night, whatever. And they would have these older females doing it. So it's not just always these weird older men. And you have to be very careful because in today's society, blended families are everywhere. You can't just assume that because somebody doesn't look the same that it's a sketchy situation. And that's what makes it so hard too.
See?
Because you don't know. I mean, my mom is white. My dad is black. My oldest brother is about your skin tone. So he doesn't look like he's white at all. And so when she first had him.
Hold on. Don't just disrespect.
You got the milk chocolate.
Right.
My brother's milk chocolate. Okay. I'm a little more caramel. Okay. So I'm just saying you can tell that I'm mixed. My older brother, you look at him and think he looks like he's just a light skinned black dude. So when we were growing up, my mom, would get approached and people go, oh, did you adopt him or whatever? And she's like, no, this is my child, And so it's not always easy to look at a situation and tell exactly what's going on. But there are signs, if the kid is not completely clean, if the child, if there's just those things that you have to look for. I
didn't plan to go here, but when you say, someone doesn't look clean. Now, it was another, I'm not going to talk about that on air, but yeah, I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it.
I know we've kind of jumped subjects.
I'm gonna leave it, but
a little
yeah,
bit.
okay. Back to it being women's fault that these men.
Let's get back to it being the woman's fault.
Yeah. For you said it though, like women disrespect. Okay, that's why I want to ask. Back to these guys who are disrespected by women on a regular basis.
Right.
How often do you leave someone unread?
Listen, I feel like that is so disrespectful, and I might do it, but not even mean to. Sometimes, like maybe I open the message, but you're cooking or you're cleaning, and there's something else that you have to use your hands for. So then you set your phone down and you go tend to that thing that's right there in front of you, and then go, oh shit, I forgot to respond, and then someone calls. I mean, your day gets busy. I understand, but there's a difference between that kind of thing and then purposely like opening it, letting someone know that you saw their message and just not responding.
Are these men weak?
In the group?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. I think mentally and emotionally, yes, I think they are. Because think about it. It doesn't matter if it's an intimate situation where, you are attracted to someone, you're trying to holler at them and they shut you down. Or if it's just someone that's bullying you. Like, you have to figure out how to be mentally and emotionally strong enough to not let the world around you tear you down to the point where you hate yourself and you're ready to, shoot up the grocery store because you feel like life's been unfair. Life is unfair for everyone. You could take the most attractive person out there and they have hardships that they've gone through. So you can't allow someone else's view of you to tell you who you are about yourself. Maybe you need to quit going after, shallow women and look for somebody a little more quality. Find a different way to approach people.
But those guys, do you think, from what you saw, could those guys get those women?
There were guys on there that I saw, because I did look up some YouTube videos and some different things. There were some that were not like, they weren't dog ugly. You know what I mean? Like, I can find something attractive about anybody. You could pull any single person out of a crowd and I'd be able to say, oh, I like the shape of their nose. I like the fullness of their lips. I like the shape of their eyes. I'm just that person. I think all people have value. So I could find anybody. For the most part, I think. I see you over there looking. Look, I think for the most part. Now, that doesn't mean I would want to be with them or that I find them attractive. I'm just saying I can find something about them that somebody else that has value. So I think these guys just have to understand that instead of turning completely against women and saying that there's never a chance for them, that you have to continue to be open to love, because there's some woman out there that would probably love to be with any of those guys.
So do you, in that case, let's say they find a woman. Let's say you come around and one of those are attractive, and he hits you up, he's shooting his shot. Would you turn him down?
You know what I picked up on from that group more than anything was kind of like they had this hate for feminism, and that's very hard for me because again, being raised with all brothers and everything, there was always things I was being told I couldn't do because I was a girl, and oh well, they're boys and that's why they get away with it, all this stuff, and it's like this double standard, and it seemed like they were taking it as like a blow to their ego, like it made them less of a man because she wants to be more of a woman, and that is not the case. It's just like with all the arguments that come out of like the Black Lives Matter. It's like we're not saying other lives don't matter. It's just that we're saying that we matter also. And so I think when people hear things like, oh, a woman wants to be this and she wants to have equality, and it's like it takes something away from men. That's not the case. Just because people want it also doesn't mean that they're trying to take it away from any other group of people. So no, I wouldn't necessarily shut them down. I would, if I found something attractive about them, then I would give them the space to get to know them. My thing is, if you're going to try to demean me as a woman, then that would never work. I don't give a damn how fine you are or how much money you have. If you are showing me less value because of my gender, that would never work for me.
Okay, check. So this gonna go crazy off, but I think it ties a couple pieces together because Asian porn.
Oh my God.
You know what? I didn't plan to go here either. I'm motherfucking good. I'm good at this shit. So Asian porn. I've always had this thought about Asian porn. Have you watched Asian porn before?
I have not watched much Asian porn.
Have you watched porn before?
I've watched porn, yeah.
Okay, all right. So Asians, when you watch Asian porn, it's very rapey for one. Mm-hmm. It is also very pedophile like? So they really like a young
looking girl.
Very submissive like.
Yes. But again, that feeds the man's ego. I'm big, I'm strong, I'm all knowing, I'm all powerful. You're just this little woman that I can dominate.
Okay, but here we go. So we take these guys, MGTOW guys, incel people, who are sexually repressed, or depressed. If having a porn like rape porn, adolescent kind of young looking porn,
right?
If that's a way to keep them from acting out towards women, is that a good thing?
I think that's a very deep rooted issue, and it's not good on any level. If you have to find an outlet in any way to work through you wanting to be violent or aggressive towards women. Now, there's a difference between like,
and we'll just say pedophiles too.
Yeah,
if
I mean,
this
all
is
of
something
that's a much bigger like issue. You know, there's something going on there that is much more dangerous, and eventually, I think people's appetites aren't satisfied just through a screen. So if that is their interest, I think at some point, if they had the opportunity, they would definitely act out on it. So I think that is very scary and very dangerous. And
is it more dangerous though to assume that they would versus saying, okay, they found their outlet to not do it?
I guess I'd have to try to find more research to show that that's even a thing, because think about
no one's going to admit it. So
exactly. But think about people who watch more like traditional porn. And if Gemma Jameson, when she was at her peak, came walking in, and I say that name because I don't know a lot of
this
porn
old lady, go ahead.
She probably still got it going on, but anyways.
She named the first porn star.
But you know, that's the look, right? Like
what up, Jada Stevens? Shouts out.
The blonde hair, big boobs.
Trump.
You know, I don't know any of these girls' names.
I got them.
I don't keep records. I'm just saying. You know, you have any of them. If a man had or a woman that's attracted to that had that opportunity to be with that woman, and what most society would consider that to be a normal, healthy thing, wouldn't they go for it? So then you take these guys, and like that's why social media is so scary, because then you have these guys, and if that's their thing, and then you have these young teenage girls who are on these chat groups, and even just on Facebook, people can put any picture, and you don't really know who's behind the screen. You're talking to these people, and then before you know it, they're talking about meeting up, and it's some grown ass man trying to come after like a 13-year-old girl. That becomes a very dangerous situation, because I think people become. If you're that obsessed with it, then you get to a point where, like I said, it is not something that is just going to stay behind a screen. You're going to want to act that out. You're going to want to seek that out, especially if you have been repressed or you have a hard time connecting with women your own age.
But wouldn't the part of knowing that this isn't normal, society sees as normal, this is something that is illegal or frowned upon. Okay, I know this, and I don't want to be that person. I don't want to go to jail. I don't want those problems. I am just going to leave it on the screen. And maybe when I have a partner, and I will communicate that, hey, I am very into XYZ, then we'll keep it settled there, even though my real desire, I'm jacking off in front of my computer, basically.
Yeah. And I think that I guess if you had to pick the lesser of two evils, that would probably be the better of the situation. But have you ever seen Catch a Predator?
The show?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And think about how many people after people after people. I mean, shit, there was a local raid here for prostitution not too long ago, and I knew a couple of dudes' faces on the thing, and I'm like,
Why?
You know, because they're upstanding guys that you would never think would be involved with this shit, and here they are caught up in this stuff because everybody has their demons, right? And so, you know, when you think about people being afraid to talk about sex and what they like and what they're into, it creates a whole other level of shame and guilt, and people don't talk about it. But
how would you talk about that? Like, because pedophilia, I think a lot of time it gets mixed up with like, oh, that motherfucker gay.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Those are two different things.
But why wouldn't they be a letter?
Why wouldn't they be what?
A letter in the group.
They're trying to push for that. There's actually schools in California, I think, or there's some kind of facility in California that's actually, I've seen different people, like, I can't remember if it was a TED Talk that I watched. It was something, and they were actually pushing, and I've heard about this years ago when I was even still in college. I was taking my human sexuality class, and there was one of my professor for that class was talking about how they were trying to push to have pedophilia be considered a sexual orientation. And it's like, if you okay it in that sense, then it makes it seem like that could be decriminalized or it could be allowed in some way. And the reason why that can never be okay is because the people they're seeking are not of a sound age, mind, and maturity to be okay with saying, yes, I am a willing person in this situation, because they're fucking children.
Well, so pedophilia, I guess first we have to define it. I'm not going to define it, but you figure out what age is the age. There is a document. I don't know why I've brought this documentary up so many times on this podcast, but it's a documentary called "Are All Men Pedophiles?" And what it is this dude. Basically, his argument is, and it's a pretty decent argument. It's a terrible documentary, but it's a decent argument. It says the only reason that we view pedophilia the way we do is because of the contemporary laws behind it. And that if you think about when a girl is ready to bear children is based around their menstruation cycle, or when they get past puberty. So if that's the point where they're supposed to be having sex in old law, then a man being attracted to a girl at that age really isn't abnormal, because in the past, that's when they would start having sex, when they was able to bear children.
Right. I get that.
And so for our society, we pick whatever arbitrary number we pick, but then in India, somewhere else, they might not even have this law. So you have 14-year-olds and 13-year-olds getting pregnant.
Right.
And it isn't frowned upon in their society. So if it's a natural inclination for a man to want to have sex and a girl is of sexual age, then the label pedophilia is really based on the contemporary law of that land that person lives in.
So the whole idea behind abnormal behaviors is based off of the society. So just like you were saying, something in American culture that we would consider abnormal or wrong, you go to another country and that's actually the practice. So it can only be based and to say that something is wrong or abnormal considered on that society and what they believe. Now, think about the fact that the youngest reported pregnancy that I know of in Wichita was a 4th grade girl. She had started her period. She was being raped by her uncle and got pregnant. Now, the whole situation with her being raped, okay, that's wrong. But do you know any 4th grader in the fucking country, or let alone that around the world, that is mentally mature enough and emotionally stable enough to have a child? For their bodies to be, I mean, just because she started her period, for her body to go through what it takes to bear a child. And then not only that, but what comes after that, to be mature enough to know what it takes to raise that child.
Well, in our society, no.
Right. And I just went out of the country a few weeks ago, back in July.
Weird flex, but okay.
Hey, man, I got to get in where I can. And one thing I did notice, I mean, I was very in tune and just watching the culture of people. And like I said, my sons are 6, 5, and 2. So when I was there, I was watching these other kids that were around my older boys' ages that are out selling necklaces and jewelry and shirts and food and stuff by themselves. You know what I mean? And so the whole idea that like these kids had to help provide for the family, it does change things. You know, depending on where you're at in the world, what you're capable of. I was getting hustled at one of the booths by a little girl that was probably 8 years old. You know what I mean? She's like, "Oh, do you like that purse? You should buy that purse. You know, that would really look good on you." And she's sitting here trying to help her family to make an income. So depending on where you're from and the need of your family, that was considered like a third world country that, you know, you have to mature faster than what we do in American society.
Because in Roman times or whatever that is, that was what we're talking about as abnormal here is normal.
Right. But we've elevated as people. We've evolved. We know that. Think about, even for most of the people listening, how old were you when you lost your virginity? and the
Hey.
person that you lost your virginity to. Now, as a grown person, would you still pick that same person to do that with? Just even losing your virginity.
At that time?
No, I'm talking about now, you being the person you are now, who, you know, I'm 31. I don't know how old you are.
Grown. 84,
Grown. Okay.
whatever that
So I'm
year
just saying,
30
me now,
something.
who I am at this person, having much more knowledge of the world, much more knowledge of myself, coming into myself as a person, I would definitely not pick some of the same partners I've had before.
Oh, okay.
Being able to have the knowledge that I know about
Yeah, I
myself,
would've
about
picked the same
love,
person.
relationships. Shit, I wouldn't have.
The person I lost my virginity, yeah, I would definitely pick her
No,
again.
I would not. So, you know, I mean, it just comes with, there's certain things that can't be rushed. You cannot, just because of your,
But I don't think you I think you put a lot of the mental state of the child
well,
or the
absolutely.
person in this conversation where they are
Because it's not
purely
just
looking at.
biological. Just because your body's ready to do something doesn't mean you're ready to handle
Well,
the responsibility of what comes after.
We talked about cats earlier,
Yeah.
another mammal,
Uh-huh.
or I mean, it's the conscious being that makes us feel that way. Because if you go into any other mammal, they don't give a fuck. When they're ready, they have a mating season, and they still raise or whatever. Now we don't know the real consciousness of animals, but you know, our ability to ration. They say that's what makes us different from
Yeah.
animals. Is our ability to ration and have rational thoughts. We're assuming,
Mm-hmm.
but maybe. I agree. I'm just been on the other side of the argument. I agree, but maybe women are just supposed to be vessels to population.
Well, I remember one of the guys that got caught on How to Catch a Predator. When he was trying to explain his reasoning behind it, and again, I mean, it kind of makes sense. But this would be one of the guys that maybe does think more about STDs and things like that. Is he explained it as being like trying to find somebody who was clean and pure and all this stuff. He had this whole idea about if you're with a virgin, then nobody else has, you know, been in that territory to even.
I'll never fuck a virgin again.
I'm just saying that was his rationale behind it. So I mean, I get wanting to be with somebody who hasn't been with tons of people. I understand that, but to take a child and to think that, okay. When a girl's body can come in way before her mind, and the same for a man. I mean, the boys can mature physically way quicker than mentally. That does not mean that they're ready to be out there exploring and experimenting and doing all these different things.
Earlier, you said we went on a rant about STDs.
Yes, we did.
If you met a 20-year-old virgin, you with it. You know he clean. He's pure. All he do is jack off. All you gotta worry about is olive Olay, lotion, oil. That's all you gotta worry about. You with it.
Right.
I'm asking.
I mean, there's something to be said there for that. Like, I've always thought about it like this. Like, you could get with somebody who's a virgin and they finally get it and they're like, oh my God, this is the best thing ever. And so they just fall madly in love with you and they're just like obsessed with you. And you could kind of almost like, it sounds kind of bad, but you can almost train that person to what you like and what you know and all that stuff. And that could be great. Or they could go, oh my God, this is what it's like. And then they want to go out and explore the world because they had never had it before. Now they're
Let's
like, now
not
I
be
want to know what this
pessimist.
is and this.
Let's be
It could go either
optimistic.
way. It could go either way.
Are you with it?
It depends on what that. Like I said, look, you can have the best dick in the world. You got to have a little more than good dick and even money to be able to hold my attention. You got to be. We have to match on a much more like mental level to be able to really keep me involved.
That was a long no.
I
You are
mean,
not fucking with
if he's got
virgin.
if he's got a good job, he's stable, he's like forward thinking, he's got goals. I mean, I have all these things that I need for my partner to have in order for me to be entertained. So if he had all those things, then yeah, I'd be with it.
So it wouldn't alarm you that he's sexually inexperienced by the time. Think
No.
about what you like. And his inexperience is now he's clean. He's everything that you like.
But who's to say he hasn't watched porn and to have like the knowledge and maybe he hasn't got to act it out on people, but he has an idea of what he should do.
Nah, you learn that stroke with you learn your stroke with experience. You gotta get your reps in.
I mean, it would definitely make me wonder. I know.
You gotta get your 10,000 hours.
I would want to. I mean, it would make me curious as to like how you reach that age and don't ever do it. But I think most of the time in those situations, it's like a religious thing, and so that kind of makes me have more respect for it. If you were holding yourself out based on religious beliefs, then that would make me like be like, okay, I get that.
What if it was one of these incel dudes who's finally like, you know what, this is stupid. I'm gonna get out here and try it.
Yeah.
One of those guys.
I mean,
he's never had sex. He's got a good job. All that shit.
Mm-hmm.
But you know his past. It ain't cause of religion. It's cause bitches be tripping.
So in that situation, it would make me a little more alarmed because it's like someone coming out of a really bad relationship. No matter how hard you try to not let that bleed over into the next one, you're going to have caution. You're going to have your past experience that's going to make you a little self-conscious in areas to where it'd be very, very hard to go into something and not have some of those ideas. So some of that stuff started showing up with him, like trying to degrade me in ways or be controlling or him be super insecure. Because I'm a very outgoing person. Anybody who knows me knows that I'm outgoing. If you can't be secure with me with that, I mean, I would never disrespect my man, but if you're insecure enough that it's been that hard for you to even have a woman in the first place, you might not be equipped to handle me. I'm just saying. I'm not trying to sound conceited or over the top. I'm just saying I know that I have a lot of energy that comes to the table. So
she in the BDSM, I can tell. She like that shit. That's why she don't want to be controlled, but control me a little bit. See,
some secrets are better left.
Oh, and the secret ones is out there. When you stop answering questions, that's when we figured out. So we gonna go wrap this up. You still haven't had the chicken sandwich.
I've not had. I don't eat fried food really, so
she don't like the taste flavor. Well, there's chicken sandwiches at gas. Everyone is promoting a chicken sandwich now. I had Chick-fil-A the other day. I was like, ain't nobody fucking with. Can't nobody fuck with Jesus chicken. Is what I'm saying. But I haven't had the other one.
The Popeyes?
Yeah.
I just don't understand how people are so worried that they will wrap around the building for that. But like, I mean, I understand food is satisfying, but do something to really help your body. Do something better than that.
Drink water.
Organic. Something. Come on now, people.
All right. Well, shit. That's it. That's all I'm gonna do. All them topics, and every single one I didn't think I could get to. I got to it in a decent fucking segue. Decent. What did I got? What you say you do again?
I'm a mental health therapist. I work in a private practice, so I have adult clients. I work with couples. I work with families, but I specialize in play therapy with children.
Play therapy?
Yes, sir.
Like games?
Essentially, yeah, but they're
like Xbox?
No.
What kind of game? Like Duck Duck Goose?
No, I mean, depending on the age of the child and the trauma that they've been through, it's different things. But we have a playroom in our office, and I will play a game that maybe has to do with emotions, with abuse, with trauma, with divorce, with death, with divorced parents, whatever it is, with anger, with self-esteem. Self-esteem, no matter if it's a child or an adult, that's my biggest focus is positive self-talk.
All right, this is how we end it. Why don't you give like a couple good tips for families and homes to deal with the type of shit that you got to deal with at work all the time?
Number one, your anger and resentment toward your partner is not more important than the stability for your child. So don't use the kids as pawns to hurt the other parent. Take the time to listen to your kids because they'll tell you more than you might think. And understand that even if your relationship does not work out, that the two parents don't have to hate each other just because the relationship failed. Those kids are the most important thing in the situation. And honestly, the kids are the most important thing, but so is self-care. Everybody has to find those things to nurture themselves, to deal with stress, to get things out, so that way they can be their best selves. If you're not your best self, then you're not going to be in the best space to take care of the people around you.
Well, that works. Be your best self. Live your best life without hurting others.
Right.
I always feel like just don't do whatever fuck you want to do. Just don't be malicious.
Absolutely.
So this is another episode. It's your first podcast.
Hopefully we'll have another.
And so you tell everybody what you was drinking though.
Water.
Okay. Drink water. H2O. How did you like it?
I enjoyed it. I think that there's definitely some good topics that we touched on, and some of them that we could go deeper into. So
every topic you can always go deep on. Pause. I don't think I had the pause there. This is episode 104 of the I'm Kind of Famous podcast. Look, my homie Teleoso dropped her most recent album, City. I don't know why she called it that, because she's Sagittarius, but I just can't say this shit. I'm gonna play a song from hers. This song is called Julius Ceasar, with Incredible One on the hook. We're gonna play that in a second. But make sure you go over the Kind of Famous Pod on Facebook, KINDA Famous Pod, POD on Facebook. That's where you can find me just posting all kinds of shit. I also got video clips from Track Record episode 1 with Ado and his album on Murder. Get over to Arrow Films and go watch Savage You as well. Got a bunch of shit that's been going on. I told y'all I was busy. Now everything rolling out. I got a new show coming up as well with Poly's Productions, a local studio where we're going to have some performances and things like that. But Clean Ass People Collectors, make sure you get some of those shirts. Got them shorts. Arrowfilms.com/buy now, or if you go to pretty much any post on the Kind of Famous Pod, it gives you direction on how to get either the t-shirt or the track shorts for the women. Got several sizes, like 4 colors. Other than that, we're gonna get into this next song, Teleoso, from her album Sagittarius City. The song is Julius Ceasar. To then, tell your mama I said hi. Let's go. Now,
I arose through the fire like a phoenix, past the sun and the moon, touching Neptune and Venus. I took a different route, more breathtaking, kinda scenic, instead of following the crowd, just to do what was convenient. Believe it, they'll try to pray and I ain't talking about to Jesus. Take your kindness for weakness, just to eat off your achievements. They bring nothing to the table but they baggage and they demons. Man, these bitches so unstable, I'm too savage, I don't need them. Oh, pay attention, there's a message with some meaning. They be studying your flow, next thing you know they drop a remix. So these bitches wanna be me, so I tell them keep on dreaming. Take a pure stroke of luck or a mastermind of genius.
I came, I saw, I conquered, like Julius Caesar. Made them a believer. Watch the strongest walls fall crumbling at my feet. They try to take the crown from me. Yes, they tried, but still I reign.
So, in light of you being kind of famous,
why the hell I'm kind of famous? Who the hell she know?